someone pointed out the National Review, the entirely predictable sad end of Doge. One thing that's still good, the vast majority of all federal spending in this country still comes from Congress, as it should. And so if Doge has the president's ear, the president cannot and should not be able to say, we're going to spend this and not going to spend this. It comes from Congress. And now we're back to Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, welfare. So yeah, it was predictable that Doge would fail. It was absolutely predictable, for many reasons. First, you're not going to turn off the welfare spigot.
No, I mean, that's just,
Go back to the Constitution. The farmers in Rhode Island were never, ever, ever going to turn off that welfare spigot, ever. It took the U.S. Constitution to make paper money. Did I make that point?
yeah.
Under the U.S. Constitution, Article 1, Section 10 lists the very, very, very few things the states are not allowed to do. The very few things. You can't have your own army. You can't have your own. You can't engage in international diplomacy. You can't act as a separate nation state. The one and only thing that the states were not allowed to do that had direct bearing on their citizens, their population, was no more paper money. No impairing of contracts. No making anything but gold and silver legal repayment of debt. I think back to that point. Again, the states could tell you what to wear because you don't want to dress too gaudily because that puts you away from God. The states can tell you what to wear and eat and drink, but no more paper money welfare. So yes, the welfare spigot is never going to be turned off, ever. I don't see any hope whatsoever. Even the most radical, maybe that's the wrong word, Reagan didn't begin to lay a finger on entitlement spending.
No.
Trump, the tornado, not a finger on entitlement, not even talking about it. Wake me up on the day that a president even talks about the entitlement spending, let alone something happens. So yeah, I just don't see it.
Yeah, it's, I don't know if we'll ever get away from that, but I guess for me, the hope is maybe as being a Christian or just the fact that, when you turn on, you see the media, right? And the things that we've talked about. And then you look at this younger generation coming up and,
Yeah,
they don't have necessarily the values that we would want them to have in that aspect, but they're also not as crazy and like so far off the base that
it sounds like
TV
very
makes
good
them out to
news.
be.
It sounds like very good news.
Yeah,
It
and
really does.
Yale did a study on it, and a lot of it came from them kind of coming of age, if you want to call it, during COVID and Biden era. And they were like, wow, all this, because you got to remember, all they've seen was stimulus checks getting sent to you.
Mhm.
And then they started seeing prices going up. So they're seeing all these things in the negative that's happening. And they're probably the first generation since the Great Depression that actually seen the effect of what government policy can do and really hurt their daily lives, compared to where if Trump now says, hey, we're going to do this, well, the state can come in and kind of subsidize it, or,
Yeah,
this.
as negative as I am, those are very, very hopeful signs that I'm really surprised me that the young people would feel this way. So, I hope that I
It
am wrong.
shocked me, man. Let me tell you, when I read it, my job, my wife wasn't at home. She was at work in her office, like 40 minutes away. I called her. I'm like, did you know this? I'm like, and she's like, I'm at work. I'm like, I know, but this is like life altering to me. And she's like, calm down. I'm like, yeah, but when you turn on CNN, any news channel, even Fox News, you would not think that this is the case.
No, absolutely not.
And